And welcome back to Benovir Plays Minecraft, Part 4. In the last episode, we left off with gathering materials. As you can see, we received a large supply of materials. I managed to find 3 diamonds, and looking back at the footage, I actually passed by an emerald that I went and collected. Got enough gold and silver, along with various other metals, to go ahead and do a jump start on our machinery. The first thing that we're going to need to build is a dynamo, specifically a steam dynamo. These right here are going to provide us a basic amount of power that we can get from charcoal. You'll notice that I've changed the crafting table to a crafting station from Tinker's Construct, and I've thrown a chest next to it. The reason I did this is so that you can actually get the resources out of the chest without having to have them in your inventory. So as I'm smelting it, I can just come over and throw them in here, and then run over and do other things like smelt other things. I'm cooking some more bread right now, for instance. I'm not entirely sure if shift clicking will work in this scenario. No, it won't. Normally, if you shift right click, it'll throw the resources that you have. Actually, I need to make some gears first. So let's go ahead and make the steam dynamo. I'm going to need 2 wooden gears to start with, and you make those that way. And put some cobblestone around it. We'll make some cobblestone gears, or just stone gears. And I'm wanting to make copper gears for the dynamo. And I'm also going to need this redstone transmission coil, which is 2 pieces of redstone around a silver. As you can see, I went ahead and smelted up what we're going to need. Alright, we got ourselves a steam dynamo. I'm going to go ahead and hold on to this for now, and we'll go ahead and make our second machine that we're going to need. That is a pulverizer. With a pulverizer, what we can do is we can end up doubling our resources. We can also use it to make sand, gravel, and other resources that would be difficult to otherwise obtain. Going to need another gold ingot. I also set up this area over here behind our temporary base. With these machines, you don't want them to be out in the open. Out here where they can get exploded by creepers. And while that's cooking, let me go ahead and show you the next thing that I was going to do. As you can see, I have 2 of these crops, and I have an open plot that I didn't tell you what I was going to do with it earlier. With Industrial Craft, you can create new and unique crops. Go ahead and sneak through the night. Resist zombie. Alright, over to the right I have a fully grown crop. Over to the left I have a different fully grown crop. Since they're different, what's going to happen is I can actually create a hybrid plant between these 2. You right click with the crop, right click again to enable the cross feed. We're going to have to check in on this every now and then to ensure that this didn't get taken over with weeds. If it did, we're going to have to destroy the weeds and replant the stick. That gold should have cooked by now, so let me go ahead and collect it. Go ahead and make a redstone reception coil. Going to need flint on either side as well as a copper ingot. And there you go, we have a pulverizer. For the time being, I'm going to go ahead and throw it right here. One more. For the time being, I'm going to go ahead and throw it right here. And I'm going to throw our steam dynamo right here. The steam dynamo requires two things. The first thing is coal. The second thing is water. That's why I've made an infinite water source right here. I'm going to go ahead and supply it with some charcoal. We should have plenty. And I'm going to go ahead and throw a stack of... I'm going to go ahead and get some iron. Half a stack of iron should do. Just throw the charcoal in there. Throw the iron in there. And you'll see over here, this thing will start filling up with steam. It looks like something else, but that's due to a bug on thermal expansion side. This is the default texture pack. And you'll see here that one iron was turned into two pulverized iron. We can then smelt this pulverized iron to get regular iron. The next thing I'm wanting to make is something called the redstone furnace. Between this segment and the next segment, I'm going to go ahead and get the raw resources required to make the redstone furnace. I'm going to do that by taking the metals that we need, throwing them into the pulverizer, and then smelting the individual components that we're going to need into these furnaces. YouTube, we will be right back when I do that. And welcome back, YouTube. I went ahead and did some more smelting. As you can see, I have a bunch more resources here ready to make some machinery. So the first thing we're going to build is this redstone furnace. As you can see, it requires some bricks, a machine frame, reception coil, some redstone, and some copper. The bricks you'll get from clay, which you can find in water. You smelt those up and you'll get these bricks, which can be made into the brick block. Machine frame we've already made. It's just 4 glass, 1 gold, and 4 iron. Actually, I believe I have these reversed. Alright, so we need a redstone reception coil. I believe that is everything. Alright, so we're going to put our bricks down, put our redstone reception coil in, put our machine frame in, a single redstone, and we have ourselves a redstone furnace. So where are we going to put this? I believe right next to the pulverizer is the best place to put this. With thermal expansion, what you can do is you can actually have these set up to output to a specific side. You can configure that over on this panel. And if you shift right click in the middle, or shift left click in the middle, it'll clear it all out. Say I want the input to be on the top and the output to be on the right. You'll notice there's 2 slots in here. That's because certain things can have 2 outputs. Iron ore, for instance, can have both pulverized iron and pulverized ferrous. For this one, we're going to have the inside, or the input be on the left and the output be to the right. So how are we going to power both of these machines up, you ask? One pulverizer can only power up one machine. You'll see this one isn't getting powered. Well, we can do that with wires. Let's go ahead and make some wires. I have 2 lead ingots. We're going to make the most basic wire. Actually, I believe it's that in the middle and redstone on top and bottom, and it'll get you some leadstone energy conduits. You can see if you press shift that this will actually only transmit 80 red flux per tick. With advanced circuitry and advanced machines, that does matter. You need to make sure you have the appropriate output to the appropriate input. As you can see through this, the maximum output this can put out is 80 red flux per tick, so this is appropriate to one steam dynamo. With the pulverizer, the maximum power it can take is 40 red flux, and the redstone is 20, so we have enough power without having to make enough better wire for now. In order to get this to face the correct way, you're going to either need a wrench or you just need to break it and put it back down. Either way, you're going, if you pick it up with a wrench or with that, you're going to end up losing all the power you had stored anyway. Okay. Alright. I'm going to have to reset this back up. Alright, now how are we going to put everything into this engine? Well, we have one of two methods. One, we could do it the hard way and put it in ourselves, or we could just make this automated where you just throw everything on top and it'll end up going automatically into the machine. We're going to go with the automatic version. What we're going to need for that is a hopper, which is made like so. This is a vanilla Minecraft item. We're also going to need another chest, because the hopper only has 5 slots that you can input stuff into. And the way you set this up is the hopper goes on top of this. You just shift and right click, and on top of this goes the chest. And you'll notice I left the area above the chest open because you cannot open a chest if it has a dirt block on top of it. So now that we have all this in place, let's just go ahead and throw in our iron ore. And you'll see automatically it'll start to drain from the chest. It'll go into the hopper and then into the machine. Go ahead and grab everything in here that's metal related, except for the cinnabar, because we don't need to smelt the cinnabar yet. In previous versions of Tinker's Construct, aluminum did not work with a pulverizer. However, it looks like they fixed that, so we're going to go ahead and test it. Alright, you'll see here that this item hopper will start to fill up as things are taken out of this chest. Nothing's getting processed right now. I'm actually going to need another chest. Nothing's getting processed right now because we don't have any power. I'm going to throw that in there. And I have some charcoal on me. I'm going to throw those in here. And you'll notice this doesn't go anywhere because it doesn't have any bucket or any water. So what I'm going to do between this episode and the next episode is I'm going to increase my machinery. What I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to put a aqueous accumulator here, which will automatically pour water into the steam dynamo, so I don't have to do it manually. I'm also going to want to put a igneous extruder right here. I'm going to have some pipe between the two. I may end up doing that at the beginning of the next episode. Between this episode and next episode, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and smelt all the metals that we have, so that we can continue on without having to stop every 5 minutes. I may end up doing a little bit more mining because I wouldn't mind having more resources. and I'll keep an eye on our farm. Actually, between last segment and this segment, it does look like something grew. I'm not sure what it is, but it is growing. It may be just wheat. Occasionally, you will get just another vanilla crop, but it does have the potential to be things like melons and pumpkins, which are hard to obtain otherwise. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. It will get a lot more interesting as we start getting more and more materials to play with. Very soon we're going to start to build a proper base, and I will get rid of this hole in the wall. But for now, this has been Benovir Plays Minecraft Episode 4. Thank you for watching. You have a great day.